reading through and reflecting on the Gospel of Luke this month at church. And as I was reading through chapter 7, the story of Jesus being anointed by the sinful woman stood out to me. I've read this story before and often focused on the pride of the Pharisees, or how this must have been a nice teachable moment for Simon and presumably the other disciples. But what I hadn't given much attention to was the woman herself. Clearly she understood the weight of her sin, which the text says were many. But in this moment, she was not trying to justify herself. She was not trying to explain herself. Nor was she concerned about how others viewed her in this moment. All that mattered in this moment was that she was at the feet of Jesus, expressing her broken, uncontrite spirit. This moment was all about him. Perhaps she saw Jesus raise the widow's son from the dead, and she knew that this was the Messiah, the Holy One of God, and her great humility and tears was the only natural thing for her to do as she longed for forgiveness. All too often, we're the Pharisees looking down on the sins of others. Or perhaps we're like Simon, who observe God forgiving the sins of others from a distance. But as we grow in spiritual maturity and understand the full weight of our sins, we're also the woman, weeping at the feet of Jesus, both in sorrow and gratitude, feeling the full weight and shame of our past sins, but also eternally grateful for forgiveness and the chance to now live in peace as we follow Christ. This story reminds us that our posture should first be at the feet of Jesus, in humble submission and gratitude. It's all about him and forming our life into who he has called us to be.